Another unboxing video. I know, we get all sorts of fun stuff. This time, let's see what kind of fun stuff we got. All the packing here. Dun, dun, dun. Mirrors. We got new mirrors this time around. One of the things that many people complained about with the KLRs is when you tip over, the first thing that hits are your mirrors typically, and they break off. So everybody was really concerned about mirrors, and always is concerned about their mirrors, because they're kind of expensive to replace. So I was doing a lot of research, and I found that a lot of people that are hardcore adventure motorcyclists, which is what we're hopefully eventually going to be, they use the ram mounts for the mirrors. So there's a little ball, and it screws right into where your mirror usually goes, and then you have an arm that's all adjustable, and your mirror has a ball on the end as well. So it all sits together nice, but when you tip over, it doesn't break, it just folds in. So I'll get you guys a close-up here in a second. Alright, so up close and personal with the ram mount mirrors. So they're decent sized mirrors, quite a bit bigger than the OEM ones, which is nice. OEM ones are circular. I'm not a huge fan of the circular look, to be honest with you. So they are quite a bit bigger. They're nice plastic. They feel pretty rigid, pretty solid. So I'll open everything up here. So then here's your actual arm. So it's got the adjustment knob here. So they're super easy to adjust on the fly. The mirror has a ball attached to it right here. So that just sits right in the base, or in the arm, I'm sorry, in the arm. And then this little ball here goes right in where your mirror mounts currently. Just a neat little ball. Not too bad, not too hard to install either. And there are, let's see if we can get this in focus here. So there are no edges or anything where you can actually clamp onto it with a wrench and tighten it down. So the best that it's going to do is finger tight, which is alright. So then we have another mirror. The unfortunate part is Rocky Mountain ATV only sells the mirrors one as a set. So in order to actually get two mirrors, you have to order two sets. So just a word to the wise, they are about $60 a set. They also include the double take. So they're called Double Take is the brand, but they're ram mounts. And they do include little extensions where if you want your mirror just a tick higher, you can throw the extensions on there. The ram mirror mounts by Double Take. So they're nice. They definitely offer a lot more versatile options. Here I can unscrew this and then I can pivot it in the field. I don't have to have any special tools or anything. If I do go down, these just fold right in. And then I have no issues with any braking. Don't have to worry about replacing them. They're super nice. Moving on. The next item on my awesome list here is a master cylinder brake guard. On the KLRs, it's kind of stuck out in the open, and I had a feeling that rocks or something could kick up with it, especially with me usually being the second rider and my father being the first rider. If we go around and turn, or one of us wipes out or do something fun or dumb, if rocks kick up, we don't want to take out our master brake cylinder, especially when we're in the middle of nowhere. So I figure for $30 I'll get the SW-Motech brake guard. Here is the SW-Motech brake cylinder guard here. It's metal. You just take out the two bolts, you put this on with the same two bolts that you pull out. It takes about 10 seconds to do it total. But the main reason that I started seeing now is that when I'm riding, my foot rests right here. When I'm adventure riding, I'm standing up. My foot could rub against this. So this not only protects from going down, but it also protects my foot from rubbing against it too. And the last thing, I got what's called a Thermo-Bob. So what it does is it replaces your temperature gauge in your engine on your KLR, so that way it helps regulate the temperature a little bit better. So that way, in colder weather climates such as Wisconsin, where it doesn't usually reach 80 degrees, once in a while in the summertime it does, yes, not that often though. And they say that if you're not running at 80 degrees or warmer for air temperature, your motor engine temperature doesn't quite get up to the temperature it needs to be at, so it runs a little bit colder and it fluctuates. So one thing to help kind of fix this issue is the Thermo-Bob. So it's really just supposed to help regulate the temperature better to make your engine last longer, really, I guess. I didn't do a ton of research on it, but that's what I got, and it sounds good to me. So I'll get you guys a little bit closer here in a second so we can check it out. The Thermo-Bob. Let's open this up and see what's all in here. Then you got your little thermostat here as well. Got another little thermostat. Got some hose. Got your little toolkit. Got a little splicer to splice into a hose here. And you got your hose clamps. So you got 4 hose clamps. Got a little splice-in connector. You got your hose, you got your tools, 2 thermostats, and the actual giant Thermo-Bob here. Pretty cool. So we'll see how well it works. But one thing we did notice, we haven't ridden them a ton yet, but one thing we did notice is when we were riding them, the temperature gauge did not get up very far at all. It didn't get to where all the other motorcycles that I've had and ridden, they've gotten up there in temperature, about medium where they should be. The KLR just didn't, that temperature gauge just didn't rise hardly at all. So I'm thinking that this Thermo-Bob is really going to allow a lot more heat to build up in the engine, but not allow it to overheat. So it's really going to help regulate the temperature, keep it consistent. So tucked up underneath the right side is the Thermo-Bob. Right there, mounted in that housing, and it splices in around in the front. Can't quite see it because it's dark, but splices in up there, and the housing sits right in there. So all good. We'll test them out, see how it goes. The next item, and the last one for this video at least, is a metal radiator guard from JNS Engineering. So I really am a huge proponent of guards. Sometimes, yeah, you can go a little overboard with the guards. I get it, you know. But I feel that protecting the radiator with a metal radiator guard is a good idea. You take one rock, if it's big enough, it'll crack through your plastic radiator guard and take out your radiator, and there you're sitting dumping coolant all over. So I got a metal radiator guard. JNS Engineering, wasn't too expensive. I don't recall the exact amount, but it wasn't too bad. They do have installation instructions in here as well, so they make it pretty straightforward and user-friendly. But yeah, I'll get you guys a little bit closer and then I'll show you everything when it's installed on the bike. Alright, last item here is the metal radiator guard. So it's a little bit thicker, not super thick, but definitely going to be a lot better than the plastic one. It did come with the instructions, installation instructions, and with a new packet of screws and bolts, nuts and bolts. So it's a little bit thicker. It's a matte black, kind of matches the SW-Motech bars and all that stuff, fun stuff there. So I'll put this on, put it all on, and show you guys how it looks.